We start planting the crops generally as soon as we can get what they call get on the ground, which means as soon as there's no frost in the ground, the snow's all melted, can't plant in the snow very well. But normally speaking, we start as soon as we can with peas because they're a crop that enjoys cold weather actually at planting time. Then we move into the crops that are a little more sensitive, so you've got to wait for it to warm up a bit. Potatoes, cabbage, our bean crops, sweet corn, things like that, where you really want the weather to be sort of what you'd call a nice spring weather in order to plant those crops. The reason being because they're all from a seed other than potatoes, which is from a piece of a potato cut in quarters generally. But the seed needs some warmth in order to do a process called germination, which allows it to start growing. So you need some moisture, you need a little bit of soil heat. They've got to have that warmth to grow. Now the cabbage I mentioned grows from seed, but we actually grow them first into a plant, what we call a transplant. They're actually grown in a greenhouse. So it'd be just like the plants you might grow in your backyard in the home family garden, only on a much bigger scale. We have 20 acres behind me here of cabbage. That's a lot of cabbage. We grow asparagus. That's our first crop of the year. Asparagus is a perennial crop, which means we plant it and it's there for 10, 15, 20 years if I look after it properly. So when I say we're harvesting asparagus, that's a 6-week process. The second crop we move right into is strawberries. Then we move into summer beans. We then move into sweet corn, and then what we call early or new potatoes. Then we move into, once we get past Labor Day, then we move into what we call our fall harvest crops, which would be storage potatoes, which we'll load into storage. And then we finish the season up in the fields with cabbage that we have out right behind me here, which is all winter storage cabbage. And we market it throughout the winter months. Many of the crops we grow, we're harvesting over a period of certainly weeks, if not months.